Welcome back to the Knowledge Nuggets. I'm Kelly Woodward, and in the last video I talked to you a little bit about moving from operational manager to strategic leader. And one of the things that I mentioned in that video is that as an operational manager, you were probably the expert, the subject matter expert. You had all of the facts, all of the knowledge, all of the information that you needed in order to accomplish your goals and your tasks. And as you continue to move up the ranks within an organization, you aren't necessarily the expert anymore. You rose up through the ranks because of your expertise, but now that expertise may be less relevant than it was at one time. So I'd like to take just a few minutes to dive a little bit deeper into this subject of moving away from being the subject matter expert and how you can become comfortable with that. So as a leader, you can't get hung up on being the best and most informed person in the room. You actually should refrain from trying to be the expert, because if you needed to be the expert on everything, it would take you a lot of time to investigate and to build up that knowledge rather than leaning towards others on your team that have the expertise that you need already. You have other things to do, more important things to do. So lean on those that have the expertise that you need. You need to actually transform from a specialist to a generalist. So let's just talk for a few minutes about how you do that, making the shift from a specialist to a generalist. As a generalist, it's really important that you build relationships. As I mentioned, you were the one in the past who had all of the facts, but now it's about the relationships that you build. A specialist manager knows what to do and just does it. A generalist leader knows who to call. So tap into the skills and talents of others and don't feel like you have to have all of those skills and talents yourself. Surround yourself with the good people that you need. Don't do the work, enable the work. As the expert, you are actually the one doing the work, but as the generalist, you're an enabler. Your role is to help the experts get the work done. And a big part of that, as you're enabling things to happen, is to recognize when you need to jump in, guide, and intervene, and when you need to just leave things alone and let people do their good work. The other thing as a generalist, you have to get past the details. You have to be able to see the big picture. Your value as a leader lies in your ability to see the big picture and to help people understand how things fit together. You need to practice this big picture thinking. There's a gentleman, his name is Rob Kaiser. He said that to take on a major problem, you need to think about how it affects employees 2 levels below you. You need to think about how this problem or issue affects people across from you. You need to think about how this problem or issue affects people above you, and even how it affects the board and the investors. So take that big picture view and think through how what you're experiencing in your environment is challenging people all around you, a very broad view of how it's affecting those around you. Also, you have to get comfortable with not knowing all of the facts. But even those leaders who don't know all the facts, they have a big presence. When you're the expert, the facts speak for themselves. But when you're not the expert anymore and you're the generalist, you really need to have strong executive presence. And you know when people have strong executive presence. You just instinctively see it, feel it when they walk into a room. You notice the way they're dressed. You notice the way they speak. You notice the way they are able to talk about their own goals and objectives for their organization and how they tie to the larger picture of the organization. They just really stand out. And there are some great tools on the Accelerate webpage around executive presence for you to take a look at. They're tip sheets, they're brief, they won't take a lot of your time, but I highly encourage you to take a look at them and continue to have conversations with your consultant advisors about some of these skills around executive presence. There's an exercise I'd like you to do, and I would like you, after you watch this video, to create a chart of the types of expertise you need to surround yourself with, and then leave a spot for the name of a person or persons that you would go to if you needed this type of expertise. So think about mapping the expertise you need to the people within your team and within your organization, and even external partners that you might go to. We want you to proactively think about building a team of experts around you, doing it purposefully so that it enables your success, and that you're not trying to do things alone and in a silo, and you're not trying to determine who these experts are when an issue or a problem arises and you're now trying to put out a fire. So do this exercise proactively. Take a few minutes at the conclusion of this video to create this map of your inner circle. What expertise do you need and who can provide that to you? If you realize that you no longer have to be or even should be the expert, this could be really fulfilling and satisfying for you in your career. Your role as a leader is to bring out the best in others, to motivate them, to lead and guide them, to inspire them. So I look forward to hearing more about this transition for you, and be looking for the next few knowledge nuggets in the series. Thank you.